Alright everyone, welcome back.
その点で言えば、リンは戦いには向いていない。魔術師ならば、志より結果を取るべきだ。
皮肉を言っても無駄よ。私は方針を変えないわ。
まったく、どうしたのだ一体。エミやシロウと知り合ってからの君はおかしいぞ。以前の合理性はどこに行った？
I realized that without you even having to say it. But I can't help it. He hasn't gained anything even though he's a mage, and he's dangerously narrow-minded. There's no use in trying to scheme against such a guy, and besides, he's,
リン、どうした？ようやく自分の愚かさに気づいたか？
そうね。ええ、私はどうかしてる。けどアーチャー、それもこれもみんなあんたがつまんないもの見せるからじゃない。
何？
いいわ、忘れて。とにかくあんたが私のサーバントである以上、私は私が信じることしかやらない。私はエミやシロウほど甘くはないけど、それでも譲れないものがある。相手が何者であろうと、それを譲る気なんかない。
I can't clamp down the anger, and that makes me realize I don't feel any sympathy, even after learning about his past. I'm just mad.
ほんと。あーちゃん、返事は？
So I take it out on him as much as I can. The knight in red coat sighs and assumes that what seems to be his favorite pose.
仕方あるまい。主が不調ならば、支えるのが進化の役割だからな。君が本調子になるまで、陰ながら見守るとしよう。
And he replies with an answer that's neither a yes or no. I wake up. I feel heavy, like there's lead inside my head.
なんだろう。ここんとこ目覚めが悪いな。
I don't know if it's because there's a lot to think about or if I'm having a weird dream. Even though I usually don't dream, I feel like I've been experiencing something like a dream recently.
まあ、綺麗な刀だったけどさ。
I often vaguely dream of swords. Among them, his blades appear frequently.
そうだよ。気に入ってるよ。悪いか。
I curse at Archer, who's not even here, and get out of bed. It's before 6 a.m. I can't be getting distracted by strange dreams. I should go prepare breakfast. Saber sees me off as I leave the house. I've gotten used to this lifestyle, and the morning passes by smoothly without anything particular happening. I don't see Tosaka by the school gate. Since the only lead we had, Issei, ended up innocent, I bet she's busy running around gathering information.
人事じゃない。俺も調査しないと。
But the question is how to do that. Tosaka's probably investigating the people at school, so I should investigate the building one more time. Well, it's not like we'll be able to move conveniently. Oh, sorry. Well, it's not like we'll be able to conveniently find out what we didn't know before. I used to break in the first half of lunch to look around school, but I couldn't find any abnormalities.
うん。何か知らんがお疲れ。
He must have finished lunch already, as Issei acknowledges my efforts while reading an old poetry anthology.
サンキュー。飯食うからお茶もらうぞ。あれ、急須は？
ああ、こっちだ。しかしな、今日は昆布茶しかないがいいか。
なら左右でいいや。俺、どうも昆布茶のドロッとした感じ、ダメだ。
そうかそうか。では明日までに職員室から緑茶でももらってこよう。
I leave a rather cheerful Issei to himself and pour myself water before I sit at the table.
じゃ、いただきます。
I clap my hands together and open my lunch. At the same time, someone knocks on the door.
あれ一星、お客さん。
ん？こんな時間にか。
Issei slowly goes to the door. The visitor is Mr. Kuzuki, the teacher in charge of the student council. I run into him often, and I bet he thinks I let myself into the student council room overly frequently. I quietly eat my ground chicken lunch. He must have nothing to report today, as Issei and Mr. Kuzuki are just chatting. I munch on my food. I work on finishing up.
先生、そろそろ時間ですか？
そうか、邪魔をしたな。言わずとも承知しているだろうが、戸締まりは忘れないように。下校時間も厳守したまえ。
はいはい、分かってますって。
Mr. Kuzuki leaves and Issei comes back in a rather good mood. Wow, that was a rarity. Souichiro Kuzuki chatting with a student, and with a normally rather shy Issei. Well, they might get along because they're both stubborn, but it's still odd.
なあ一星。
なんだエミヤ。
いや、前から疑問に思っていたんだが、お前とクズキ仲いいのか？
Oh, he's surprised.
いや、答えられないならいい。ふとそう思っただけだから気にするな。
ああ、違う違う。そういえばエミヤには言ってなかったな。と気がついてね。仲がいいのは当然なのだ。何しろクズキ先生は俺の兄貴分みたいなものだからな。
は？
Mr. Kuzuki is like Issei's big brother?
ちょっと待て、それどういうことだ？
だから兄貴分だって。総一郎。クズキ先生は3年ほど前からうちに居候をしているんだ。見ての通り朴訥な人柄だが、裏表のない誠実な心をしている。同じ屋根の下で暮らしていて、人間として尊敬できるのだ。兄として慕うのは当然だろう。
クズキが竜道寺に住んでいる？
I feel like the back of my head has been hit, but I force myself to stay calm on the outside and ask Issei to continue.
そういえば最近見慣れない女がいるって言ったよな。そいつのことクズキは知ってるのか？
知ってるも何も。あの女はクズキ先生の言い名付けだ。近々祝言をあげるから、それまで部屋を貸し与えている。
A second shock.
一星、そういうの見慣れない女って言わないんじゃないのか？
I try my best to object to dizziness.
見慣れない女は見慣れない女だ。クズキ先生の言い名付けであろうと、名前も知らない女など、それで十分だろう。
Issei ends the conversation, clearly uncomfortable. Anyways, regardless of the source, this is news I can't ignore. Souichiro Kuzuki commutes from Ryodo Temple, and a woman who is staying at Ryodo Temple. I heard that Mr. Kuzuki's fiancé showed up about a month ago. If that was Caster, then we pretty much have our answer.
と、そういうわけなんだが。
In class after school, there's only 10 minutes until we have to go home, but I tell Tosaka about Mr. Kuzuki.
どうだろう。一星のこともあるし、竜道寺に住んでるからって怪しいと決めつけるのはどうかと思うんだが。
クズキ先生か。マスターとしての気配っていうより、そもそも魔術師じゃないんだけどな、あの人は。
I don't know if she's even listening to me, as she frowns like she's not convinced.
魔術師じゃない？なんだ、よかった。それじゃあとりあえずクズキは除外か。
なんで？そんな怪しいやつマスターに決まってるじゃない。
Okay, I guess I'm starting to get used to this. But I still can't keep up with Tosaka's thought process.
今夜にでも仕掛けるわよ。学校に手を回して夜勤になるように仕向けるから。エミヤ君も準備しといて。
ちょっと待て。いくらなんでもそれはなし。クズキを夜勤にするって、それじゃ今夜にでも戦うっていうのかよ。
当然でしょ。クズキが明日も学校に来る保証はないもの。機会は待ったなし。夜まで学校に残らせて帰り道であいつがマスターかどうか試すのよ。
念のため聞くが、マスターかどうか試すってどうやって？
実力行使。エミヤ君の時と一緒。
That is terrifying, Tosaka. The way she says that sounds oddly honeyed. She really does like pushing people around. Maybe in another lifetime the two of us fought over a playground's peace as children.
俺は反対だ。試すにしてももっと穏やかな方法がある。わざわざ危険な真似をしなくてもいい。
危険じゃないわよ。私だって見境なしじゃないわ。影から軽いガンドを打つだけよ。もし久月先生が一般人でも2日風邪で寝込む程度だし。
いや、それも問題だろう。もしクズキが本当にマスターだったらそのまま戦闘になる。こっちから手を出す以上話し合いにはならない。
わからないわね。それなら余計好都合じゃないの。一体何が危ないっていうのよ、エミヤ君は。
そっちこそわからないやつだな。だから遠坂が危ないって話だろ。
Tosaka must have finally realized how she pauses, but only for an instant.
そう。別にいいわよ。それなら私一人でやるだけだもの。
She decides just like that. Damn it, I guess there's no use saying anything to Tosaka once she's made up her mind.
わかった。俺も付き合う。遠坂を一人にしたらどんな無茶をするかわからないからな。
それはこっちのセリフよ。まったく何を言い出すかと思えば。下校時間ね。それじゃあ待ち合わせは午後7時。橋の下の公園。戦闘になるだろうからちゃんと準備してくるのよ。
She looks away and starts walking. I leave the classroom after her.
では今夜キャスターのマスターに仕掛けると？
いや、まだクズキがマスターだって決まったわけじゃないんだが、おおむねそうだ。
I gave Saber a detailed account of today's events as soon as I get home. Saber agrees with Tosaka and already seems roused by the prospect.
そういうわけだから今日の鍛錬はなしだ。夕食もすぐに支度するから待ち合わせに備えよう。で、そっか。そういえば出陣の前に飯食うのって良くないのか？
Oh, not for Saber. No, no, no.
なぜそのようなことを聞くのです？戦闘時に空腹では問題があると思うのですが。
いや、腹がもたれるのかなって。あと1時間もないし、夕飯は帰ってきてからのがいいんじゃないかなって。
いえ、そのようなことはないと思いますよ。口にしたものを素早く消化するのも戦士の素質です。
Oh, goes to show she is always hungry.
普段から正しい生活と鍛錬をしていれば食事はあまり問題ないかと。
それはつまり夕飯は作って OK ってこと？
はい、そちらの方が大変力が出るのでは。
I see. Well, I've also trained so that I can move right after I eat, so I guess there's no problem. Well, I'll still make something light just in case.
それじゃあ今に言ってるけど、セイバーは？
シローの邪魔をするわけにはいきません。私はもうしばらく気を整えておきます。
I guess she means to meditate.
了解。飯ができたら呼びに来る。
I leave the dojo. It's completely dark outside. We're meeting at 7, so that means that we'll ambush Mr. Kuzuki in an hour after that. If Mr. Kuzuki is a master, then we'll have to fight. Caster is a cautious servant. If she found out that her master was attacked, we won't get another chance. Then we have to make sure that it's fatal if we're going to attack. We can't let the opponent escape and don't have the luxury of fleeing ourselves. No matter the opponent, in order to stop Caster from attacking all the people in the town, we must defeat her master. If all goes well, we'll take away his command spells, and he won't be a master anymore. But if worse comes to worse, and we're unable to manage that, it will probably turn into a fight to the death.
そうか。武器の一つも持っていかないとな。
A weapon from here. The easiest thing to pass energy through is probably a wooden sword. My success rate at strengthening has been going up recently, so even a wooden sword would become a good weapon. But that is only the case for a normal fight. I'll need a better weapon to fight against a servant or a master.
欲を言えば、あいつの剣みたいに。
I imagine what I saw in my dream. The black and white twin swords. They're a length that even I'd feel comfortable using. And ultimately, I would be able to fight decently enough with them. I could protect myself without being a burden to Saber and being able to proudly say that I'm her master.
たく、ないものねだりをしてもしょうがないだろう、バカ。
I sigh and head to the porch. I'll just do what I can do. For now, I'll put my energy and strength into making dinner. Saber is so serious, but it seems like she looks forward to meals. It has secretly been my joy to make her happy with them. It's 7 p.m. Tosaka came right on time.
お待たせ。必要なものを揃えてたら時間かかっちゃった。で、そっちの準備はどう？
I handed the practice sword bag. There's a bokuto, a wooden sword inside. This is all the preparation I can do.
まあ、しょうがないか。そもそも白兵戦ならこっちはセイバーがいるんだし、エミヤ君は様子を見ているだけでいいかもね。
そうだな。セイバーがいる以上、俺はセイバーのフォローをするだけだ。
Well, I find it hard to think of a situation where I actually need to watch her back.
リン、なぜアーチャーはいないのですか？
Then, with a sharp look, Saber asks a question.
遠坂、アーチャーを連れてきてないのか？
ええ、あいつなら置いてきた。今夜は奇襲だし、セイバーがいるなら必要ないでしょ。正直なところ、あいつとキャスターを合わせたくないのよ。
Tosaka starts walking. I don't know what she's thinking, but that means that we won't have the help of Archer this time. Time passes. We have to cross this intersection to get to Ryodo Temple from school. It's already taken an hour to set up our territory. The simple bounded field set up by Tosaka.
外から見られるのはアウトだけど、防音だけは完璧よ。ここ一帯ミサイルが落ちても周りには気づかれないわ。
According to Tosaka, the surrounding area is too quiet. It might also be because Tosaka's field is working, but everything feels too lifeless. It's already been 7 days since the Holy Grail War started. It seems like the town spirit is being slowly stripped away without anyone noticing.
来た。エミヤ君、隠れて。
I move to the wall. I can't even hear the footsteps. There's a figure beneath the streetlight. A tall and lean physique. That familiar figure is definitely Souichiro Kuzuki. Mr. Kuzuki passes by in front of us with his usual orderly footsteps. He's too defenseless. I'm assaulted with the feeling that Mr. Kuzuki might be innocent.
なあ、遠坂。やっぱりクズキは違うんじゃないのか？
まあ、やってみればはっきりするでしょ。
Tosaka seems to be half in doubt as well. It seems like she's still carrying on with her plan as she points her index finger towards Mr. Kuzuki. Gander. It is a curse that lowers the target's physical ability, considered to be a simple magecraft. Tosaka is more like a gunshot instead of a gander, but I'm sure she'll lower the intensity this time.
準備はいい？エミヤ君。
She whispers. There's still time. The possibility that Souichiro Kuzuki is innocent. Isn't there another way other than Gander to check if he's a master or not? Let's save for this one. Hold up. We can't do this. This method is too violent.
遠坂、待った。いくらなんでも軽率すぎる。
今さら遅い。ここまで来てやめられるか。
Tosaka sticks out her left hand. A black shot is released, followed by the sound of something piercing the air. She must have said something aloud on purpose. The gander's speed is slow, and the black haze flies toward Kuzuki like a change-up pitch. A wind of disease that will cause him to be bedridden for 2 days. But 2 days of not being able to move would be fatal for a master. There has to be some kind of reaction if Mr. Kuzuki is a master. Tosaka moves. Kuzuki doesn't react. Tosaka's gander mercilessly hits Souichiro Kuzuki's head. It is interrupted just before that. A robe suddenly appears in the space between them.
Oh.
The man who was supposed to be hit by the gander looks at us, as if he knew they were here all along.
Tosaka!
I immediately pulled the wooden sword out of the bag and put magical energy into it. I don't have the time to be fumbling around with strengthening. The swirl of cloth in front of Kuzuki now takes shape. Slender limbs appear from the indigo robe. Teleportation. Actual teleportation is considered true magic in this modern world. This dark witch caster uses such a mystic with ease and appears before us.
忠告したはずですよ、宗一郎。このようなことになるから、あなたは竜道寺にとどまるべきだと。
She must not think anything of us as Caster talks calmly to her master, Kuzuki.
そうでもない。実際に獲物は釣れた。
そうね。あまり大きな魚ではなさそうだけど、大量であることは間違いないわ。さあ、そこから出てきなさい。バカな魔術師さん。
It'd be difficult to run now. No, if Caster and her master are in front of us, and all there is left to do is fight them, even if this is in the middle of the town. But before
出て
that,
こないの？残念ね。顔ぐらいは見ておきたかったのですけど。
何よあのタヌキ。こっちの素性なんてもう分かってるくせに。
Tosaka curses in her hiding spot. She must have heard that.
3秒あげるわ、お嬢さん。それであなたがしたことをそのまま返してあげましょう。
Caster says cheerfully and points her hand towards us. The absurdity of what she did before returns to my mind. She's not that naive. I'm sure she would destroy this whole area along with the wall that we're hiding behind.
エミヤ君、合図をしたら飛んで。セイバー、準備はいい？
I sense her nodding behind me, but there's something that I need to confirm before that.
すまん。それは後にしてくれ、トサカ。
え？
I don't wait for a reply. I go out into the intersection from the shelter, wooden sword in hand.
シロ！
Tosaka must not have had it in her to leave me alone and this follows me out.
あら、意外ね。少しは物分かりが良くなったのかしら、坊や。
Caster watches us calmly. Kuzuki stands next to her. The distance between us is about 10 meters. No matter how I think about it, Caster's fingertips would be much faster than me running to them. With full knowledge of the situation, I step forward. I have to do something before we fight. That is...
遠坂とエミヤか。マトウだけではなく、お前たちまでマスターとはな。魔術師とはいえ、因果な人生だ。
To confirm the identity of Souichiro Kuzuki as the one Caster is protecting.
どうしたエミヤ？話があるのではないのか？
He asks in his usual manner. I don't feel the presence of a mage from Mr. Kuzuki. No, I don't even feel a desire for victory in this so-called war. Then,
クズキ、あんた、キャスターに操られてるのか？
it's possible that Mr. Kuzuki is being manipulated by Caster like Archer said. Until I get this cleared up, I just can't fight him. I can feel Caster's desire to kill me. That alone tells me that question is off limits for her.
うるさい坊や。殺してしまおうかしら。
Yet her words are not quite a threat. However,
待て。その質問の出所は何だ、エミヤ。
Mr. Kuzuki stops her in his usual manner.
疑問には理由があるはずだ。言ってみるがいい。
My throat is dry. It must be Castor's murderous glare. The woman in the indigo robe tells me without words that she'll kill me if I say something wrong. I bear it, and
あんたがどうやってマスターになったかは知らないけど、あんたはまともな人間だろ。ならキャスターがやっていることを見逃しているはずがない。だっていうのに見逃してるってことは、あんたは知らないんじゃないかって思っただけだ。
I glare back at Castor.
キャスターがやっていることだと？
ああ、そいつは竜道寺に巣を張って町中の人間から魔力を集めてる。ここ最近連続している昏睡事件は全部そいつの仕業だ。今までも、そしてこれからも犠牲者は増え続ける。キャスターが魔力を吸い上げ続ける限り、いずれ死んじまう人間だって出てくるだろう。そいつは町の人間は生贄だって言った。取り返しのつかないことになるのはそう先のことじゃない。
なるほど、そういうことか。通常善良な人間ならばキャスターを放置できない。にもかかわらずマスターである私がキャスターを放置しているのは彼女に操られているからだと考えたわけだな。
ああ、もしあんたがキャスターの行為を知っていて放っておいているなら、あんたはただの殺人鬼だ。俺も容赦はしないけど、あんたが操られているんなら別だ。俺たちはキャスターだけを倒す。
いや、今の話は初耳だ。
His statement leaves no room for interpretation. He doesn't seem to be lying either. Souichiro Kuzuki is the same as when he lectures at school. Though relieved, I still keep my guard up against Castor. Mr. Kuzuki is also a victim if he's being manipulated. So all that's left is to defeat Castor.
だがエミヤ、キャスターの行いはそう悪いものなのか？
And yet still, Souichiro Kuzuki says this as well.
なんだって。
他人が何人死のうが私には関わりのないことだ。加えてキャスターは命までは取っていない。まったく随分と半端なことをしているのだな、キャスター。そこまでするのなら一息で根こそぎ奪った方が良いだろうに。
The way he says it is no different than usual. He gives his honest opinion. Souichiro Kuzuki is the same as when he lectures at school.
無関係の人間を巻き込むつもりか。
全ての人間は無関係だが、まあ私が何者であるかはそちらで言い当てただろう。私は魔術師などではない。ただのそこいらにいる朽ち果てた殺人鬼だよ。
Kuzuki takes a step back. He watches us from behind Castor.
キャスターの傀儡というのは当たっているがな。私は聖杯戦争など知らん。キャスターが殺し、お前たちが殺し合うというのなら傍観するだけだ。もっとも私も自分の命が一番可愛い。キャスターが何を企もうと知らぬ。私はただ私を阻む者を殺すだけだ。では好きにしろ、キャスター。生かすも殺すもお前の自由だ。
Castor stands in front of us, smiling in victory.
ああ、もうとんだタヌキ同士じゃないあいつら。
Tosaka clicks her tongue and doesn't move. Or rather, she can't move. In terms of skill as a mage, we aren't a match for Castor even put together. For masters who claim to be mages, an opponent like Caster far exceeds what we're capable of.
そうか。ではここで死しても構わんのだな。キャスターのマスターよ。